All right. Today I'm going to make a little bit different of a video, and it's maybe a sensitive subject for some people, but I don't make this video to criticize or hate on umpires per se. I just want to talk about one thing that I see frequently in youth baseball, and that's maybe a bad philosophy. And what I'm talking about is expanding the strike zone too far. And specifically in higher level youth baseball. My son plays 10U majors baseball in Southern California, which is very competitive. And the philosophy of opening strike zones makes sense in youth baseball when pitchers are struggling, right? They have a hard time throwing consistent strikes, trying to move games along, trying to get kids to swing bats, things like that. But when you have pitchers that can live out of the zone and get strikeouts, I think it's a bad thing for the game. It's a bad thing for everybody playing, including the pitcher. So I'm going to show you a few clips of. We can get into that, what I'm talking about, and we can talk about why it's a bad thing. So first, I'm going to start out with a few clips from Little League World Series games. So that right there, we can tell that that strike was, or that ball was nowhere near the strike zone. It was always off the plate. Yeah, that's just a tough call. There's nothing that kid can do about it. Look how shocked he is. And if we go back, right, let's go back and look. Let's look at this pitch. Oops, I went too fast there. Here we go. Yeah, it's not the worst right-handed pitcher. It's probably actually a little bit closer than it looks, but based on his reaction, I don't think it was probably really that close. Let's look at a couple more. That one, the way that it was running could have been close, but let's look at this one here. That's just never close to the plate, right? And he gets rung up. And the problem with that is that these kids, number one, the pitchers are too good to give them that strike. And we're going to see some more clips from some of my son's games, both from our pitchers and opposing teams' pitchers, and see why this is a bad thing. But here's another one, Little League World Series. It's an older clip, but man, this ball is just nowhere near the. I mean, that's living well into the other batter's box the whole time, the whole way. Strike three. It's a bad thing, right? If pitchers don't have to come over the plate, they don't have to challenge the hitter. You're not doing them any favors. They're not learning things. They're not learning how to get crafty, how to mix up pitches, locations, things like that. Just letting them live in the other batter's box is a bad idea. And I say this because I just see it so much at a level that these kids are too good to give them this strike. That's our pitcher, Mason Doyle here. And this ball, I mean, maybe there before it really gets to the plate. But now it's getting close to the plate. Look at where it is. I mean, if we draw a straight line over that or down from that ball, that's inside the other batter's box before it gets to the batter. Catcher catches it well inside the other batter's box, and we get a strike call there. Right? It's not fair for the batter, and it's teaching the pitcher that he can get strike calls on pitches that just really aren't that close. And then batters start swinging at pitches like this one, right? That kid's never reaching that pitch. Remember, these kids are 10 years old. He's probably swinging at most a 30-inch bat. He's got short arms. He just can't reach that pitch. And so here is the next pitch is even further out, and he's afraid he's going to get rung up because he already saw one well off the plate that was called a strike, and he's just waving at it. Look, I mean, fully extended, and his bat is missing that ball by 6 inches, and it's really not that far out from the first pitch. If we go back to that first pitch, I mean, that ball that he just waved at before is only a few inches out past that pitch. I mean, we go back to that one, so it's a bad deal for everyone involved. It makes hitters worse, makes pitchers worse. Here's another one. Mason Doyle gets this call. This one's not as bad, but you can tell how annoyed the kid is. He's like, that's off the plate. And it's not a good look from that kid, but it's still, the point remains that, man, like these pitches they're just not strikes. And they shouldn't be called strikes. And I don't like it when they're given to our pitchers. I mean, we want to win games. Of course, everybody wants to win games, but I don't like the philosophy. I don't think it's teaching them anything. And the thing is these umpires, they're not inconsistent. They're just choosing to call that strike. You can see it here. Here comes a sequence in after this clip. But let's look at this one really quick. Look at this. That ball's, again, in the other batter's box when it's approaching the plate. And strike call again, right? So it's just, it's bad baseball. It's a bad philosophy from the umpire. I just don't like it. So here's a sequence. This is one at bat from another game in another tournament. And this umpire was the same way as that last one we were seeing. Really just the philosophy was bad. He's giving the ball the strike call well off the plate. So let's look at this. This is 3 pitches Austin gets rung up on here, and I don't think he saw a single strike. So that's strike 1 here. Look at this. I mean, it's in the other batter's box. So strike 1. Okay, now let's look at strike 2, and then I'll go back and we'll slow it down. Strike 2, right? Okay, so where's this pitch? Okay, so right here, it's not to the catcher yet. It's almost to the catcher, but where it's crossing the plate, first of all, it's at his eyeballs or above him, and it's way outside. And we've got strike 2 here, right? So then the last pitch is actually probably the best pitch he sees, but let's look at this one too. So it starts well above his head here. It's getting close to the catcher here. Look how high this pitch is. It's also maybe just off the plate, maybe right on the black, but it's close. But the catcher is catching it right here. I mean, this is already past the batter, and it's basically level with his hands. If we look here, like it's pretty much level with his hands. So when that ball was crossing the plate, it was up here, you know. So again, we get strike 3 called, and it's just the batter doesn't have a chance. I think this philosophy needs to change, particularly just with higher level youth athletes. Little League World Series, right? We're talking about some of the best pitchers that are 12 years old. And then in this 10U high-level travel ball, again, really, really good pitchers, and a good catcher and a good pitcher with an umpire that has that kind of philosophy can live off the plate all game long. And hitters, they just don't have a chance. I mean, and the other problem with that is that then you get hitters. Look at Austin is actually too far away from the plate here. Right here, yeah, right here, he's right on the plate, or right on the line, toes on the line. Okay, look at where his hands are. His hands are basically over the plate. They're really close to over the plate if we draw a straight line down here. So here's what that also does, right? So if the pitcher can live off the plate the whole time, live off the plate, and get those strike calls, he doesn't ever need to come over the plate. But also what it opens up is the inside corner. Look, when the batter has to stand this close to the plate, if you have any kind of a fastball and you can pound him inside, he's got virtually no chance on that pitch either. So it's really a bad philosophy. It hurts hitters. It hurts their development. It hurts the game. It's no fun to watch them try to wave at all these pitches outside off the plate. And the pitchers really aren't getting any better for it either. Yeah, great. You can hit that spot over and over again. That's cool. It shows good command. But you're not learning how to actually beat hitters. You're beating hitters because the umpire has set the edge of the zone too far out for the hitters to reach them, not because you've actually beat the hitters. So I really feel like we see it frequently. This is something, it's not every game, it's not every umpire by any means, but there are a lot of them out there that really expand that zone. Maybe they're thinking line to line or just over the line. I don't know exactly what their thought is on their zone. But the reality is that we end up with pitches like this one that, I mean, this ball is well into the other batter's box and it's called a strike. Look how far the catcher brings this back. and then we get the strike call there, right? If the catcher's moving the ball that much, there's no way that should be that should be a strike. And so again, I'm not trying to hate on umpires. That's not the point of this at all. I think umpires are out there trying to do their best. I just think that some of them have a bad philosophy. I think that in instances where maybe you're umpiring little league and pitchers are having a problem throwing strikes, they're not consistent, right? Opening the zone isn't hurting the hitter that much because that pitcher can't live off the plate the whole time. He's going to miss over the plate, right? But when you have pitchers that are this good that can live off the plate over and over again, yeah, they do make mistakes, but way less frequently. And you have kids having at bats like this one that I was showing of Austin, where really, I mean, let's look at that one more time. Here's strike one. Strike one. Here's strike two. Even further out. And high. And then here's strike three, which is probably the closest pitch he saw, but definitely still high. I mean, look at how high that ball is when it's crossing right there. That's probably right close to the front of the plate. The next frame, it's still hand high as the catcher's getting ready to catch it. It's already behind the plate at this point. So again, I don't make this to hate on umpires. That's not the point of it. The point of it is hopefully if you are an umpire and you see this video, to maybe rethink that philosophy. If kids have that kind of command, if they have that kind of control where they can live in this expanded strike zone where the hitters can't reach it, you're not helping anyone. The game's more boring, less action. It really doesn't help anyone to allow a pitcher to live out there and get strike 1, 2, 3 like that. Because again, they're just not learning to really beat a hitter. Hitters are learning to swing at bad pitches, trying to defend pitches they can't reach. Again, if we were to go back to, I think it was this one, maybe the next pitch. Oh, no, here we go. This one, look at how, I mean, this hitter knows this isn't a strike, but he just got a call way out here. And so he's really, he's just reaching. He's trying to get a bat on it, and that's no fun. And, baseball is a hard enough game as a hitter without having to, defend more than the plate, especially against pitchers that can live out there like that. So I just wanted to make this video. Again, hopefully, share this with an umpire. See what their thoughts are on it. Again, I'm not hating on you guys. I appreciate what you do out there. But I do think that there are some philosophies that might need to change. Consider the skill of the players that you're umpiring for. And if kids are hitting spots over and over again, they don't need that big of a strike zone. Make them challenge hitters. Make them play baseball. Make them find ways to win without giving them, a 24-inch strike zone. 18 inches is fine. Okay. So thank you guys. Hey. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about this. Am I way off base here? Do you agree? I'd appreciate your thoughts here. So thanks so much. Have a good one.